Alrighty, so we're going to get back to work on the My Place project. We should be through basically steps one of this and moving into step two at this point. So we'll just flip on down here and look at our board. As you'll see here, um, I've got the P started in place because I'm working with several different groups on this one project. Um, but by this point, you should have the P, the L, the A, the C, and the E all done with the resistors. And again, our our color is read from left to right. On the end is a metallic color that's kind of a gold. So the gold color should be on the right side or on the bottom side. So you can see I've got orange here on the left. And it goes across to where the metallic is on the right. Um, so at this point, you should have the word place all done up in the resistors with all your solder joints there on the back. Um, so step two is when we're going to work on the grid um, up here. Uh, so for this, it's going to be kind of whatever you want it to be. It could be a name like Jeff, or could be a something simple if it's got a theme to it, like Jazz Place. Like on our cover page, you have jazz on the top. It could be DJ's place. Could say first place. My place. Mine says happy place. Of course, I have an unhappy dog. Sorry about that. Moving right along. Um, so up here, I would recommend probably about 5 letters max. Try to have it centered so it looks good. And you'll use one resistor for about every across every four. So you can see here there are 1, 2, 3, 4 dots. That'll take about one resistor um, to leave it about right. You can squeeze it into three, but four is a safe bet when you compare sizes to sizes. It comes in perfect at four. So you need to figure that out, and once you do, doing the same method that we did down here, set in three resistors, um, then flip them, solder them, clip them, and going out. So for the sake of this, let's say we're just going to use my. Um, so we'll start working in the word MY for this. I haven't laid it out very much. We'll just go here. There's one hole, go over four. Of course, I did my color backward. So we got that in there. And we bend it, bend it. And you got to be a lot more careful about bridging these joints because there's a lot more metal up here than there is down here. So you can be as creative as you need to be. I'm going to tin the tip of my iron a little bit. I'm going to bring the iron to the metal pad and touch it on my component wire. And then bring the solder in from the side just a touch. And there's a good solder joint. Same thing on the other side. Put my solder on there, pull it off, and we've got a solder joint. We can put our finger on the end of this wire so it doesn't go flying. Clip it. Okay. And we've got that solder joint right there. So on the first one, I probably could have used a little bit less solder, but it is what it is. Okay, don't forget to bend your resistor into a kind of a U shape. You push it through. Okay, so you come in and do those. Apply the iron first, then bring a little bit of solder in. It doesn't take a lot of solder. A little dab will do you. Okay, so now we've got 4 of them soldered on there, and we're on our way up to the M. So we'd come up to here, then we'd come over, down about halfway, then back up and down, and then put a Y over here. So go ahead, use your resistors, kind of figure out your spacing. You can mark it with a pencil on here to try to figure out how you want it laid out. Use a couple resistors, maybe put one down here at the base, then come on up and figure out where another one will need to go to be the top of the letter. And let's say pull a few more of these out. So coming over on the M, we're going to pretty much step over just one hole so that it starts making a progressive move. So we can see that. Figure out we're going to come down 1, 2, 3, 4 more maybe to about right there. So we're going to bend that resistor. can be our base resistor for the M. So we can see there that there's pretty much so we've got this row, and then there's a space, and then that. So we know when we come up over here, there will be a space, and then our next resistor will go right there for the M. So all right, so we got our line, a space, and then our next hole. So pull that in there. Go ahead and down the back. All right. So now we've got it kind of laid out for our M. If we were going to say My Place, we can see it comes up. It's going to come over to this point, and then it'll come back up to this point and then down. So we'll have our M going through right there. And we can come over to the same thing for the Y, come down about halfway, go up about halfway, come straight down from the middle. Then you've got My Place. So get your layout set up, figure it out, and get to work on this. And it goes exactly the same way as it did down here. Now you just have to be more careful that you're not bridging, getting solder on more than just one metal pad, so you don't want it to be on both of these. You just want it to be on this one. You don't want these to bridge together, because whenever we get to the rest of the stuff, it'll become an issue at that point. So I'm going to leave y'all with that for now. Again, that is step 2 on the actual project, which starts after the parts inventory. It's on page 4 in your instruction booklet. So that should take you about most of a class. If you weren't already done with place, that's fine. Go ahead and continue working on that, and then get to the next step, and then start here when you're good to go for that. I will be establishing office hours soon, so you can check in with me to figure out stuff. You're going to start submitting pictures of your work if you're not in class. If you're kind of a distance learner or working from home with all this, you'll start sending in pictures of your progress so I can grade it and you can move on to the next step. And then with the office hours, if you're having issues or questions, then you can chime in and we'll try to fix it, work it out then. And I'm always available on our B days during 8th period. So yeah, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Until then, good luck. Can't wait to see you.